Attention passionate Detroit, Lions fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Detroit Lions' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Detroit Lions fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Detroit LIONS fans. Let's get to the news, so Lions fans, hold on to your seats because there's some serious buzz swirling around the NFC North, and it involves the Detroit Lions potentially making a bold move that could reshape the division's landscape. The latest whispers in NFL circles suggest that Detroit might be on the verge of acquiring a key defensive piece that could elevate their secondary to a whole new level. And that player, folks, is none other than L'Jarius Sneed, a talented cornerback currently with the Tennessee Titans, who's been generating a ton of buzz for a possible trade that could make the Lions even more dangerous as they push toward the playoffs, and dare I say, a deep Super Bowl run. Now, let's back up a bit and give you the full scoop on what's happening here. The Titans are currently in a bit of a rebuild mode, especially on the defensive side of the ball. They're aiming to free up some cap space, particularly with an eye toward extending some of their younger defensive linemen, like Landry, and they see a potential trade involving Sneed as a way to do that. The Titans are sitting at 4-9, and with only about $8 million in cap space left, they're looking to shake things up to get some draft capital and financial flexibility. Trading Sneed, who's on an $18 million cap hit this year, would free up around $14 million and allow them to focus on their rebuilding efforts. For the Lions, though, this is a golden opportunity. Sneed is a versatile shutdown corner who has been impressive in 2025, especially considering the Titans' struggles. In his 12 games this season, Sneed has registered 52 tackles, 10 passes defensed, and 2 interceptions, with a PFF grade of 89.8. That's pretty elite. His ability to lock down top receivers and make plays on the ball could be exactly what Detroit's secondary needs to take the next step. Remember, the Lions' secondary has been solid but has faced some injuries and inconsistency lately. With Jack Campbell and Emmanuel mostly out injured, adding a player like Sneed would bring stability and a higher level of coverage, especially against NFC North rivals like the Vikings and Bears, who are always looking to test Detroit's backfield. And don't forget, Sneed's career numbers are impressive. Over his 4 seasons, he's played 68 games, racked up 198 tackles, snagged 8 interceptions, forced 4 fumbles, and broken up 28 passes. His coverage grade has consistently been above 88, and he's allowed a QB rating of just 78. 3 when targeted, meaning he's very effective at shutting down his man. His versatility is a major asset, too. He can line up inside or outside and has experience in the slot, which fits perfectly with the Lions' multiple coverage schemes. Plus, his recent performance against some of the league's top receivers shows he can handle the big moments. Remember that game against the Bears this season? Sneed was a lockdown, limiting Darnell Mooney to just 45 yards and forcing 2 passes defensed. That kind of performance is exactly what Detroit needs to bolster their secondary and help contain explosive offenses like the Vikings' passing attack. Now the Titans are eyeing a rebuild, especially along the defensive line, with an emphasis on extending their younger players. Their PFF grade of 57. 9 on the defensive line shows they need reinforcements there, and they're probably willing to trade Sneed to free up cap space and acquire draft picks to focus on their rebuild. But here's where it gets interesting for Detroit. If they manage to land Sneed, they're not just patching a hole but significantly boosting their secondary's overall performance. Sneed's addition would complement Jeff Okudah and Emmanuel Moseley, giving the Lions a formidable trio of cornerbacks that can lock down top receivers in the NFC North. Think about how this could elevate Detroit's pass defense, especially in critical moments late in games when shutdown corners can make all the difference. It would also help Detroit better contain teams like the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings, both of whom have potent passing offenses. The impact of this move could be felt immediately. Sneed's presence would allow the Lions to be more aggressive in coverage, daring quarterbacks to test their secondary and confident they can lock down receivers more consistently. And with the Lions already boasting a strong front 7, adding a player of Sneed's caliber in the secondary would create a true defensive juggernaut. The NFC North is a tough division, no doubt about it, but Detroit's potential to dominate in the secondary with Snead could tilt the scales in their favor, especially when facing teams like the Vikings with Justin Jefferson or the Packers trying to establish their passing game with Jordan Love. From a strategic standpoint, this trade makes a lot of sense for the Lions. They're already competitive, sitting at 9-4 and in the thick of the playoff hunt. Strengthening their secondary now could be the difference between a first-round exit and a Super Bowl appearance. Plus, with the possibility of this trade boosting their chances in the postseason, Detroit fans are surely excited about the potential of seeing Snead in Honolulu blue and silver, locking down the best receivers and making life difficult for opposing quarterbacks. It's the kind of move that signals Detroit's intent to compete at the highest level for years to come, not just this season. Now, looking further down the road, there's an interesting comparison to be made. The Lions, with a solid defense and an efficient offense led by Jared Goff, are building a balanced team. Adding Snead could be just the piece they need to push them over the edge, especially come playoff time. Remember how the Rams' trade for Ramsey in 2019 helped turn their secondary into one of the league's best? Well, a similar impact from Snead could be on the horizon for Detroit, especially if he performs at the same level or higher. It's about creating a defense that can dominate in man coverage, limit big plays, and make life miserable for opposing offenses. And that's exactly what Detroit needs to take the next step. Of course, there's always some risk involved in any trade. The Titans might be cautious about giving up Snead if they feel he's a key piece for their future. But given their current struggles and the fact that they're not competing for a playoff spot this season, the potential reward for Detroit is huge. If they land Snead, expect their secondary to become one of the league's most feared units, capable of shutting down even the most explosive offenses in the NFC. And now, Detroit Lions fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential trade? Do you think adding Snead makes the Lions a legit Super Bowl contender? Or do you feel the risk outweighs the reward? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Lions because we're all in this journey together. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Detroit Lions news. This is the kind of move that could define the future of the franchise, and I know you're just as pumped as I am to see how it unfolds. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Detroit Lions news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal.